I missed a flight I was already on. I was travelling alone and running late, but not that late. I checked in online, had my boarding pass, went through security fine. At the gate they were already boarding. I scanned my pass. It beeped. The gate agent frowned. Scanned it again. Then he waved me through without saying anything. I thought I was fine. I sat down, put my headphones on, relaxed. Thought I'd made it just in time. About 20 minutes later, a flight attendant came up to me and quietly asked to see my boarding pass again. She stared for a long time. Then she said, "You're supposed to be on this flight." I said, "I am on this flight?" She looked uncomfortable and said, "According to our system, you're boarded, but your seat is empty. We checked the seat number together. It was empty. Someone else was sitting in my seat, different boarding pass, same name as me, same initials. One letter in the surname that was different. Somehow we'd both been checked in, both scanned, but only one seat existed. They moved me to a jump seat for landing. Told me they'd sort it out after. When we landed, they apologised and gave me a voucher. Said it was a rare system issue. I asked what would have happened if I hadn't spoken up. They said you would have been marked as a no-show. I asked what would have happened to the other person. They said nothing. I went home with proof I'd flown on a flight I technically wasn't on. And a quiet awareness that sometimes being present isn't enough. You also have to be recognised. I swear that's normal nowadays. Like, this happens all the time. It's not a rare occurrence. But it's just being overbooked, isn't it? I mean, it clearly wasn't overbooked. There was an empty seat. Anyway, what would you do? The gym membership I couldn't cancel. I joined a gym on a month-to-month contract. Well, no, it wasn't a contract. It was just a month-to-month plan, really. I checked twice. When I stopped going, I cancelled online, got the confirmation email and everything, screenshotted it, then forgot about it. 3 months later, I noticed charges still coming out. I emailed. They said I'd never cancelled. That was weird. I wonder what it could be, I said. They said it only confirmed I'd started the cancellation process. Apparently I needed to cancel it in person, during staffed hours, at the original location, which had since closed. I said, "Oh, okay. That's a bit weird." So I escalated it. They offered me gym credit. I said I didn't want credit, I wanted my money. That's why I cancelled, because I didn't want to go to the gym anymore. They said the system couldn't process refunds that far back. I stopped a direct debit going through my bank. The gym sent me emails saying my account was overdue. Then letters, then a notice saying the debt had passed to collections for 78 quid. 78 quid? I said. Then I called and explained everything. The person on the phone said, honestly, it's usually easier to just pay it. That sentence annoyed me more than the money. Because they weren't wrong. I paid it. A week later I got an email welcoming me back to the gym. That's strange. I think you didn't fill out all the steps on the cancellation form, so then it just cancelled your cancellation. I don't know if that makes any sense. It makes sense to me. I don't know about you guys. But yeah, I don't even know what to say. I think you just didn't cancel it properly. But they should have cancelled it after you said, and they should be able to refund you that. That's a bit weird. What would you do? The work chat I was never supposed to see. I was added to a work group chat accidentally. Someone reused an old link. I realised immediately I shouldn't be there. It was clearly managers only. I was about to leave when my name came up. They weren't cruel though, and it almost made it worse. They were discussing who was reliable, who was difficult, who was good but not promotable. About me, someone said, solid but doesn't really push themselves. Another replied, yeah, happy where they are. I was not happy where I was. Matter of fact, I had been craving that promotion. I kept reading longer than I should have. I learned I wasn't being considered for things I never even got told existed. That feedback I'd asked for had already been decided, just not shared. Eventually someone noticed I was in the chat. It went silent, then I was removed. The next day my manager asked how I was feeling at work. Very casually, too casually. I said I was fine. Because what was I supposed to say? I saw what all of them really think of me, and it isn't something you can take back. I still work there. They still think I'm happy where I am. That's a big mistake on their behalf. Really big. I get them making the group chat, but realising that you're in it, someone had to click your name. Unless you got the same name as another manager, and that manager wasn't on the group chat. But that shouldn't have been a mistake that was even made. That is a really bad mistake that caused, well, it doesn't look like it caused much change, but I think you should have fought for that. I think you could have got a promotion or something out of that, at least some kind of commission. What would you do?